Every time you enter the United States, you're being judged, not just welcomed. Even if you have a valid green card, visa, or refugee status, U.S. Customs and Border Protection (CBP) officers are trained to spot risks in your words, your behavior, and even your phone. One wrong answer, one nervous glance, could land you in hours of questioning or even denial of entry. Today, we're breaking down exactly what CBP is looking for, what triggers secondary inspection, and how you can protect your immigration status at the border. Let's get started. The truth about CBP inspections. When you land at a U.S. airport or across a land border, you're not just going through a routine passport check. You're entering an interview, even if it doesn't feel like one. CBP officers are trained to evaluate your identity and immigration status, your intent and truthfulness, and even your body language and travel patterns. Every trip is a new screening, no matter how many times you've entered the U.S. before. What CBP officers are trained to detect. CBP officers don't only listen to your answers. They observe your tone of voice, your nervousness, inconsistencies between your story and your travel record. They're watching for signs like extended absences from the U.S., contradictions about your residence, work, or school, evidence you might have abandoned your U.S. residency, potential fraud or unauthorized work. It's not small talk. It's a calculated assessment of whether you should be allowed in. But triggers secondary inspection. Getting pulled aside doesn't always mean you're guilty, but something raised a flag. Here's what often triggers deeper questioning. Staying outside the U.S. for more than 6 months. CBP suspects you may have abandoned your residency. Frequent trips abroad without clear reasons. Officers question your real ties to America. Traveling from flagged or high-risk countries. Extra scrutiny even if you did nothing wrong. Conflicting answers about your life. Where you live, where you work, who you're visiting, it all must match records. Carrying large amounts of cash or restricted goods. Over $10,000 undeclared or even common food items can cause major problems. Common questions CBP might ask you. Whether you're a green card holder, student, tourist, or refugee, expect some of these questions. Where do you live? What is the purpose of your travel? Are you traveling alone or with others? How long do you plan to stay? Who will you be visiting? Have you traveled to other countries recently? Have you ever been arrested or convicted of a crime? Are you carrying any food, plants, or animal products? Do you have anything to declare? Answer briefly, honestly, and confidently. And remember, over-explaining or hesitating can cause suspicion. Special focus: green card holders. Green card holders face additional scrutiny. Officers may ask, how long have you been outside the U.S.? What was the reason for your trip? Where is your primary residence? Have you worked abroad? Do you have proof of U.S. ties, like a leased job or bank accounts? Long absences, especially without strong ties to the U.S., could make CBP question your permanent residency. Can CBP search your phone or laptop? Yes, and without a warrant. At the border, national security laws allow CBP to ask you to unlock your phone, review your emails, messages, apps, and photos, copy your data for further review. If you refuse, they can seize your device, delay your entry, and flag your record. Tips to stay protected. Travel with a clean device. Log out of non-essential apps. Back up sensitive data before your trip. Be polite if asked to hand over your phone. If your device is seized, request a written receipt, stay calm, and contact an immigration attorney afterward. Documents you should carry when entering the U.S. To strengthen your case at the border, carry your green card and passport, proof of U.S. residence, lease, bills, driver's license, employment documents, pay stubs, job letter, evidence explaining long trips abroad, like medical records or family emergencies. Being overprepared is far better than being caught off guard. Real-life mistakes that get people flagged. Small errors can turn into big problems at the border. Saying you live abroad instead of saying you live in the U.S. Carrying undeclared items like fruits, meats, or herbal remedies. Bringing large cash amounts without declaring them. Posting on social media about living abroad, CBP can check. Acting annoyed, arrogant, or casual during questioning. Your words, your attitude, and even your online presence matter. Special tip: re-entering after 6+ months abroad. If you've been out of the US for over 180 days, bring strong proof of your US residence, tax returns, lease, driver's license. Document the reason for your extended stay abroad. Be ready to explain clearly and confidently. CBP officers focus on your intent, not just your passport stamps. Your rights at the border. As a green card holder, you must answer immigration questions truthfully. You can refuse to unlock your phone, but face delays if you do. You can request documentation if anything is seized. You do not have the right to delay questioning until a lawyer arrives. Only U.S. citizens have that protection at the border. Afterward, if you feel your rights were violated, you can file a complaint or a Freedom of Information Act FOIA request. Final tips for a smooth entry. Stay calm and respectful even if you're frustrated. Don't joke, argue, or act defensive. Have all your documents ready and organized. Answer questions briefly, clearly, and consistently. Remember, your body language, your words, and your documents, they all tell a story. Make sure yours says, "I live here, I belong here, I know my rights." If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more immigration updates, travel tips, and green card news right here on BorderDrip USA. Thanks for watching, stay informed, stay confident, and we'll see you in the next video.